welcome to Saturday. It's been a busy week, so I have a pancake breakfast to scrapbook, and it's a very simple page, like lots of photos, not a lot of stuff around them, but I have a couple of techniques I wanted to share with you. So let's turn the camera around, and here is my messy desk. Look at this cute picture. In case you don't recognize, that's Teresa. Some people didn't know that was who that was. So, and of course, Harry the horse. So it's going to be a double page in the end, but I'm only going to do one page right now. So, a couple of things I'm going to do. I needed a pancake. So I built a pancake from the Cricut, and I put glossy accents on this last night so that my butter was nice and shiny. But the syrup, I wanted to do something else. So let's start with that, then I can get that out of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have my embossed dabber. I was holding it upside down so that it's primed, and then I'm going to try Vintage Photo, the Distress Glaze. So it's clear, it's see-through, but it should give this a nice syrupy color. So that's my hope anyway. So I just first have to, I need a tray. I thought I had everything out. There we go, I got my tray. Okay, so what I like about the dabber is I can just dab, go figure. But if I had the Versamark pad, sometimes the Versamark pad, like I have one for clear and white so that it stays nice and clean, but I have another one, it just gets full of ink. So I don't want any of that transferring onto this. Plus, sometimes it's hard to press these little things, because then I have to use my fingers, and I don't like to get that mucky. But it's just so much easier to dab it rather than trying to press this into the Versamark pad. And it's big, so I'd have to do it a few times and on and on and on. So anyway, I really like this method. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to pour this over. I'm hoping it's not too dark because I did have the yellow and the orange embossing powder also, but syrup is dark, so it can get a little bit of color. So we'll see. It's nice and covered. Usually I put my embossing powder away before I do this so I don't blow into it by mistake. And you know what? Because I've said that, let's do that. Nothing's gonna hurt that for waiting. Okay. There you go. Now I feel safer. Better safe than sorry. All right. Now it was starting to curl on me, so I could regroup anyway. You can see it melting. Just gonna move my tweezers. So that is a little darker than I was expecting from that to that, but that looks like syrup, I'm telling you. Okay, so now, whoopsie, now I can glue that into place. So where's my green one? Okay, I'm gonna use let's get this out of here because it's got mucky things on it. I'm gonna use my temporary adhesive because it's so much easier to go over all these little bits and pieces, and then I can just stick it on between my pancake. So the glue that's over the die cut piece is just gonna stick to the paper, and then I don't have to worry about it. All right, I think that's, you can sort of see it's shiny when you can. Sort of. It's hard to see. So let's try it and see if there was enough on there. Ha ha ha. Oh, a little bit there. I love it. So there's my shiny butter, which I use glossy accents. I guess I could have used that too, but then it would have been clear. I really wanted it to look like syrup. So that's my pancake. It's gonna go down there somewhere. Now the other thing I'm going to do with the embossing powder is I've done many times, I've taken letters and I've dripped blood or goo or chocolate or something on top, but I've never done pancake syrup. So this is how I'm going to do it. I've got, let's use this again. I have all my letters cut out already, and I did a few of them just so you didn't have to watch me do them all. So I have an S and a T, which you can't see on there. I'm going to take my dabber, but I'm only doing the top part right here, like this. It should be good, primed. And then I'm going to pick up my S, and I'm just going to dip it into the powder. And it's just going to stick to what was wet. So now that was my pancake color, and then that's my syrup color. So I've got my dripping letters. And no mess, because I'm just using the tweezers to put it in there. Okay, I got my letters. Now I think I can get this sticky sheet out of the way. All right, and then the other thing I wanted to do was, normally I would do a photo mat on this, but today I'm going to use a sander. It's Stampede. You can get all the rustic ideas you have in your head and try them out. So this is just a regular sanding block, and I'm putting this photo at the edge of my table, and I'm just scraping away the edge of the photo, which gives me a border so that I know where the photo ends, but it gives it a cool rustic look. It's just sort of a fun thing to do. I don't do it tons, just enough so that when it's there, it's like, oh, that's cool. I always forget about that technique. Okay, so then I have a cool little edge that's going to break the photo from the background. In this case, the background is a solid color. Usually it's a pattern paper, but it just gives it a cool look. And I also did it on the outside of my paper. Now, I happen to have a few of these Tim Holtz coordination papers left over, so the core is a different color, which is awesome, because then you can see what color's underneath. And these are like totally cowboy colors. So then the other thing I'm going to do is I've got my little calendar. I'm having much fun using these things for my date, but I'm going to crumple it. I'm going to give it the teeniest bit of water. And the reason I'm doing that is because it'll stay, oh, that was big. That was a big splash of water. It'll stay in a crumple form better if I add a little bit of water. And I'm just going to give it a bit of heat so I can ink it. Okay, now I've got my, don't lose anything, my brown ink pad, and I'm gonna go over top and get all those creases to show up. And let's do a little curl here. I know one of these corners is going to be tucked in, but I don't think it's this one. So if it is, I'll look again. Okay, so now I've got a nice crumply leather looking piece of paper for my calendar. Okay, and then now beside this looks too crisp, so look pretty, play dirty. I'm gonna just ink that up a bit too, and I think I will curl this edge. Actually, I'm going to tear it because this edge is going to show, and then ink around the edges here. That's what I like about Stampede pages. You can get them grungy and crumply and tear them. And then I have to do the similar things on that side too. So that's gonna stick a little. Let's do another little tear here. Just curl that in and then ink it. Perfect. All right. And then, it's okay. I knew I had some tucking to do here. Okay, so now my page, I'm just gonna, I think I'll start gluing these down. I can probably move them if I have to. So I printed different sizes so I could just keep it to a double page layout, because my gosh, there's so many photos I will never finish. Now this, I'm going to glue this down and put that over top, but so I have to do that first. And let's get a couple of these letters down. Now sometimes I definitely have all the rulers to make this perfectly straight, but because it's Stampede, and I'm just going to make them a little bit askew, sort of all of them. Breakfast. I was going to put it pancake and then breakfast, but it didn't fit, so this is where it's going. Stay. Some noise behind me. I can't figure out what it is. Better not be a mouse. So have you guys checked out any Stampede breakfasts? I've seen a few and the lines are like insane, but they're always fun. It's so funny when I throw these down, they're always spaced out so far, and then I glue them down and they're so together. Don't know how that works, but that's why you use the measuring thing, and I could have put them all perfectly, but that's okay. I'm going to tilt this one way off to the side there. Breakfast. Okay. I don't think I need this for a moment. And I found this little horse on my desk from a project long ago. I'm just going to give it a teeny bit of ink here. Just to, I don't think inking the whole thing, just give it some shadow on one side of it. Sometimes it's kind of a cool effect. So I'll do underneath. That's where he would be darker. And you can't even really see it, but you notice that it's there. Okay. So I'll fit him in somewhere. He was just looking at me on my desk saying, hey, you need to put me on there. So I did, when I printed these, I think I had 11 photos, and I did 3 of them 4x6 size. So I got a few nice big ones. I'll put that there. Make sure my... So I have to seek out a pancake die because I thought I had one, but lo and behold, I do not. I didn't find one. Oh, I should tuck that in just a bit. Try and make the same spacing. Always look good. There. So I was going to tuck that one there. And then my date. So I need to see that. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, down a little bit. Let's see if I can... That horse can go right there because I only need to see Tuesday the 7th. I don't need to see the whole thing. So let's overlap that a bit. And then I always associate Stampede with bling. So let's see if I can get this off of here. Sometimes I can, let's see if this will work. Sometimes I can get half of it off. Doesn't stick to itself. Where am I? I want it to kind of go like that. I do want some of it on the pancake, so let's do that. And a little curl there. And then I should be able to peel the rest of this off. These are so old. These are old Kaiser. And I really miss their bling. They had such beautiful bling packages. But slowly, slowly, my drawer is getting empty. All right. Okay. So if you can do that, if you can fold it in half and get one part down, and then you can guide the rest of it rather than it all sticking together. Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, let's turn this puppy around. So I used a sanding block, and you can see it on the border of this and on the border of all of the photos. So just a fun little thing. Glossy accents on the butter, and then the clear distress glaze on the syrup. There's my calendar, all nice and crumply. There's the breakfast, I'm cooking, sitting on the hay bales, eating, and then my letters with the little pancake syrup topping. Okay, so that's page 1. That's the start of my scrapbooking for Stampede. So have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Yahoo if you can, and I'll see you later. Oh yeah, and like and subscribe. Thanks.